Hello, hello. Let me see. Me let Discord know real quick. Let's see, we're live on YouTube, Twitch. Let me see, who do I build first? Delphine or Lynn? I might want to build Delphine for the chapter. Started reading. Where have you been, Amelia? We're in 16. We're in 13, 16 now. Hold on, let me see. How many do I need for you? I need 2 more. Yeah, I know, Emmy. I know. People are telling me to just play first and then read. But no, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know, Emmy, I know. Let me do this real quick while we wait for everybody to get in here, Emmy. Sorry, chat. I have the lights off for today. My nieces are trying to sleep, so I'm trying to be pretty quiet. Man, Crocodile makes me think of my sub sound. I thought someone subbed. Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all hear me clearly? Lizard slightly reduces attack big ranges. Okay. What's your attack? 400? Alright, that's what I needed. Now let me see, where is Delphine? What does your E2 look like? Wait, no, you're just on E1, huh? Yeah, you're just E1. Alright, we can go ahead and start reading chapter 13? 13:6? 16? Alright, what do we have here? And who are you? Sometimes I think that if there really is a creator responsible for these lands, he's one cruel bastard. He came up with a really awful disease where you feel your body being consumed, gradually being replaced by these crystals, helpless to do anything to spot it. You can feel your very self being removed from your body day by day. You can only accept it. No, wait, this looks like guard. I think this is guard. We can only accept it. And this creation orpathy is actually one of the gentler ones across the lands. The infected and the uninfected. 9 tells me our persecution is as old as civilization itself. So what about poor and rich, slave and noble, foreign and local, disabled and able-bodied, even abnormal and normal? A parasitic disease is scary, sure, but orpathy is only the most obvious, the most prominent of the terrible diseases out there. The creator's really awful intentions are poverty, war, bottomless, insatiable greed, the malice and hypocrisy that brings so much suffering, gaps we can never close. But the truth is, we all know, no creator came up with that stuff. Humans, we invented it all on our own. You and me, we created them. Good news or bad news? It is guard, yeah. The good news is that the workshop is still intact. The forest hid it good. The Duke sent Sarkaz never got to use it as an outpost. The bad news is someone's living there. We saw lights. I walked up, identified myself, and the lights went out. Might be refugees or deserters. But they put out the lights. That means they're weary of us. Our fighters are ready for anything. No, let's not be hasty. They might just be cautious or fearful. Don't jump to conclusions. I'm guessing 9 is the new de facto leader of reunion. And anyway, Red's carrying a pretty long blade. Anyone would want to play it safe. Why don't I go? I'll have a word with them. By yourself? That's enough. The more men we send, the more nervous they'll be. Besides, if they mean us harm, a few more hands won't make a difference. The sky to the south has been red for the past few days. Percival and the others even found an art circle. We need to move fast. There's some risk in that. I know. But we made it out of Chernobog. Fair enough. We'll be ready to provide support on the sidelines, to make a breakthrough. This place was some kind of distillery before the Victorian reunion settled in. Let's see. Hold on, chat. Wait. Hold on. Let me see. Let me pull up the stream on my phone. I keep forgetting to do that. I can already smell the booze. Romanich would have loved it. It clearly was a distillery. It certainly was a distillery. Secret distilleries like this are common enough in Victoria, dodging around punishing taxes imposed by the lords. They could be used to make crude medication for the infected. Soaking, mixing, distilling herbs would work, but purification, no way. I'm starting to admire the Victorian reunion. They found this place and turned it into a distribution center for medicine. When did they start calling themselves Reunion and build all this? I'm not sure. All I know is that the building is just an old house covered in vines now. No movement around, no lights in the house. A figure flashed by the window. Red was right. There are people here, and they've spotted me. I dust off my clothes I dust off my clothes and fix my hair, trying to look more presentable. Man, like little errors like these kind of make me tongue twist. You know what, chat? Here, hold on. Sounds a little too quiet. Hello, everybody. Hello, anybody home? Hi, I'm Guard. I got a team nearby. I'm pretty sure you saw them earlier. Don't worry, we mean no harm. The Victorian Union used to use this workshop to make medicine. I brought hope to a lot of infected around Londinium. Its medicine even circulated among the workers in the sewers below the city's industrial districts. Whoever you are, you know the war is turning a lot more people infected. You want to get things going around here to help them. Since you're occupying the place, we need your cooperation. We can provide medicine or other supplies. We'll trade fair. Still no response. The doorknobs turn and I grip the hilt of my sword. After everything we've been through, I know it's pretty likely I'll be staring down a pitchfork or hatchet next. I'm numb to that sort of thing now. Who is it? The door opens. Oh, reunion you said. Your clothes, who are you? Maze. Come in. Hey Asphyxia, what's up? How you doing? There are more people hiding inside than I guessed, and it's quite a group. Some of them are obviously infected, while others leaning against the wall are probably ordinary refugees from the city. They're all looking over, silently watching me and the woman in the Victorian reunion uniform. Look away and clear out. The crowd falls back and Maze lead me past their collective gaze. Barely finished? Barely finished what, your sanity? Or like, did you finish like getting all the treasure chests and stuff? The crowd fall. Yep. Like the new section of the story progression. Had work, so I couldn't play all that much during patch. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So I'm guessing you're just, so you just finished story, you haven't explored very much? These people are terrified. Are you in charge here? This place is under my control. Let's find a place to talk. Victorian Reunion. Percival is in Victorian Reunion too. Our organization doesn't exactly have franchising procedures, and once word of the name spread around, the Reunion flags started popping up in all sorts of places. That also means there have been various acts of violence, acts of revenge taking place under Reunion name. The kind of thing that happened in Chernobog. I start looking at this Maze. She seems nervous. Her gait is unnatural. Yeah, we need to go back to Enfield and finish building a few characters and the treasure chests and stuff. Just exploring and opening the new region too. I need to open the new region. We're in the deepest depths of the workshop. Here we are, nobody comes in here. So your reunion, the real reunion. You come from the north? From Ursus? Yes, Ursus, Columbia, and now we're in Victoria. That's a ways. Your uniform, it's... I used a bed sheet. It looks nice, it looks clean. I ran into a group from Ursus before. They said you dress like this. I think I got the emblem right. Looks a bit big. Did you come here just to mock my handiwork? So you control this place just because you dressed up in the garb of the infamous reunion? Let's get to the point. I don't have much time. You want to get this place up and running again to start making medicine? Yes, if news got out that the reunion is running the place again? No. Things are more complicated than you know. We have all kinds of people here. I'm worn out breaking up the daily fights between infected and uninfected, and you want to make infected medicine? You might as well blow the place up. It's hard to keep a balance between them. You're reunion, aren't you? At least you claim to be. More or less. Who are your people? What else would they be? Homeless, infected, war refugees, people who have lost everything. We all need a roof over our head. I first come here with a few and other infected. We found this ruin. Later more people came, including some less than honest folk. We don't take anyone else in anymore. I'm glad to see you, reunion comrades, but I don't want to worry anyone here. Worry? That you're conspiring with us to wipe out the uninfected in our midst. Whether or not it's just a pretext to get us to open our doors to you, we can trade supplies, but let's leave it at that. See, there are plenty of uninfected here, so I get what you're saying, but I still think that it would be a good idea to talk it over with your people before you come to a decision. As long as we can get back to making medicine here, we can come to a long-term agreement. No thank you. Now off with you. It was nice meeting you. If you want to take this place, you're welcome to it, so long as you can take it. Wait, I think Tallulah is with us, isn't she? I can't see her expression behind the mask. Maybe she's just bluffing. Alright then. But I turned around, nevertheless, getting ready to leave. Hey, reunion. Is Tallulah with your group? She is. Another Tallulah worshipper. Sure enough, she's our banner, and that's her cage now too. I hear she has a nomadic city. Does that city of hers only take infected? If you haven't been infected, are you allowed to go there? I've heard from the passing caravans. I've heard it's a nice place. There's some people here in less than ideal positions. Refugees from the wilderness. Orphans without a single relative. Talk of the reunion city has everyone full of hope. Alright, Jean. Switch my opposite of base. Yeah, they're left. Emmy, you need to, instead of worrying about my gameplay, you should be worried about your base, Emmy. But you only stand with the infected, right? A city. There might be a misunderstanding here. Maze, do you know what they did? Did you tell them to do it? Have you gone mad? What are you talking about? Those idiots. He must have been a fighter in the war here, or some big important figure here to doom us all. We might be just a couple hours out from a battalion of Sarkas coming in here to wipe us out. What's going on? Are you with Reunion like Maze? It was your people. Those infected, they killed the Sarkas in the warehouse. Bollocks! He was infected too. He's going to explode, right? We need to deal with him. I'll take a look. Go quickly, you should be able to help. What, in their own building? On the ground lies the corpse of a Sarkas. I know this guy. The Sarkas who rode a motorbike. He was a junkman, going around selling stuff he took off the dead. He was clearly beaten to death, limbs twisted in unnatural ways. His hands are tied. He must have tried to break free, judging by his bloody wrist. The gathering crowd is mostly silent. Alright, Jean. I mean, there's probably gonna be more bots. There'd probably be bots in Twitch than you would have in YouTube. I feel a chill, leaving me briefly speechless. He's dead. The Sarkas aren't so strong. Here, the medicine he had on him, and some stale bread. The one who did the killing doesn't look well. He indifferently breaks off a piece of bread and hands it to someone beside him. He deserved it. Someone spits on the ground. One of them notices me, approaching me while showing a piece of bread taken off the dead man. You're with Reunion, aren't you? Maze never told us how we could join you. I remain silent for a while, calming myself down. I lower his hands for him, spotting the iridium crystals growing on his arm. Why did you do it? Did he threaten you? Try to hurt you? Why? It's as if he suddenly loses interest, stumbling over to a nearby crate and taking a seat. When the Sarkas burned our farm and humiliated my daughter, did anyone ask why? He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a murderous devil from Sarkaz. He was just a wandering hawker, selling his wares on the battlefield. He even helped you. What does he mean? Was he Reunion too? I am Reunion. You lot must know what it is Reunion fights for. Sure, you're fighting for all the infected. This man that you tortured to death, the one who never even got a chance to share his name, wasn't he an infected? But he was sarcasm. Okay. I wonder what makes a difference. Medicine and compassion cannot help the infected in a way that matters, but solidarity and strength can. Man, people are really. I see it like the sarcasm are always on a world domination quest, and then there's people always wanting to beat unrelated sarcasm race members just because like what the hell. Solidarity, yeah, there we go. Infected have no homeland. We share the same fate, the same sorrow. These people don't understand. They never thought about it. But what about us? Will the veterans from Ursus on the team treat the infected from Sarkaz well? Can Sancta infected coexist with Sarkaz? Even at Rhodes Island, What about the future? If we succeed one day and the Emperor Ursus vows to stop massacring the infected, if he agrees to grant us land and cities in this beautiful, seemingly impossible future, will the infected start killing each other? Will we fracture, collapse, and give them another chance to butcher us? Hey guard, his corpse, it's glowing. He's about to disintegrate. I had no idea his condition was so serious. Or did he really not leave any medicine for himself, trying to save money for some future that would not be his own? Get out of here now. Sorry chat, I'm still trying to be quiet. The children are childrening, sleeping. How do you process the infected here? That room, the internment one. The innermost one. Hurry, we have to throw him in there. Damn it. All I need is second. Protection from the nose, mouth, and wounds. Maze and I lift the Sarkaz corpse and kicked open the door. Upon opening it, my personal Originium monitor started beeping incessantly. I've never heard the alarm going so tensely before. Just how many infected were processed here. Every inch of the room is covered with a thick layer of Originium dust. Crystal clusters forming in the corners. Danger is no longer sufficient to describe the urgency of the situation. I don't know when things are going to get out of hand for this place, but putting a disintegrated infected in there is definitely not a good idea. No good, move. What are you doing? Why is the body? There's too much Originium in here. How many infected have been processed in this room? Well, it was years they were being processed in there. These Originium dust in the air. The place won't survive a violent disintegration. Get everyone out now. What is it? I'm trying to remember if Originium was like like I knew they disintegrated, but do they explode? Yeah, we're progressing story, Maze. We're progressing story, little by little. Can you hear me fine? I want to make sure. If you, I think, you know what? No. Yeah, I think y'all can hear me fine. Don't you get it? The original environment here is extremely unstable. The place could blow any minute. So we leave and go where? Everything out there is. There's no time. We're talking about reunion here. They have an entire bloody nomadic city. They're gonna. I think that nomadic city is not on the table anymore. Run, get them all moving. I'm contacting some of our teams on the outskirts. They'll take some of you in. There's still some booze left. If there's an explosion, the whole place is going with it. And that... Hey Maze, where are you going? Personal belongings? The one dressed in a uniform is struggling with the machinery in the deepest depths of the workshop. What are you doing here? Help me pull that lever. Did you work here before? But you're not infected. Thanks for not exposing me. Pull harder. Where did you get that reunion outfit? This used to be a reunion base and so many died here. Don't test my patience. I didn't do anything. That's what they all say. I was a worker here. That reunion lot took over the distillery and they needed hands to run the machines for them. It's just the mercenaries hired by the Lord attacked and I ran. I'm not infected. Why should I die here with those reunion? So why did you come back? Why? Because I had nowhere else to go, damn it. What other reason would I end up trading my life for a secret distillery? I'm not infected, but sometimes I feel like I'd rather be with Reunion. At least they have something to fight against. They have a purpose. Pull harder. It's stuck. First, open the switch for this unloading port. Reunion left behind a whole lot of material. Not so much explode, but they shatter into dust that's contagious. Right? Yeah, I know that. But the way that they're talking about it, it sounds like if there's too much dust, it could explode. I think I'm winning. I'm trying to survive as guard. I don't know. If anything, I feel like. Guard is like your run-of-the-mill like normal person, right? The doctor said this was the cheapest painkiller formula. They were working on it for a long time. It only relieves pain, but that's good enough, right? With this, can I be a genuine part Reunion? That is, I might be allowed a home in your nomadic city? Yo, these people. To the news travels fast, but not fast enough. A nomadic city. I take a deep breath and throw out a kick. It makes me sore. The lever finally loosens. The machine comes to life. The giant hopper tilts to one side, and what falls out of it is countless petals. She hurriedly picks up the herbs scattered across the ground and carefully piles them in her arms. If I don't consider what exactly I am, I feel like this could be a beautiful sight. Guard's totally normal person. That's taken a complicated road. Guard or traitor or I wouldn't say he's a traitor. I wouldn't say he's a traitor. It's more, I would say Guard's more complicated than a traitor. No, I'm just slightly, I'm not tired. I'm just I've done a lot of processing today. Deserter at least. Yeah, but he's not a willing deserter, I would say. I mean, no, he willingly we did offer him to come to Reunion, come back to Rhodes Island, but he didn't take it. Yeah, no, Guard is complicated. I feel like he's very interesting. He's very complicated. No, no, I think that, like, Guard doesn't believe RI can make a better world for the infected. But he does believe Reunion has a better chance of making a safer home for the infected. Not that he doesn't believe they can get a cure, but a safe haven for them, right? Yeah, Guard follows his, yeah, and his morals lean more to Reunion, I would say, I guess. If I don't consider, let's see. We don't have a city, but those Reunion guys all said, but you, well, I mean, a nomadic city, a city, you know, people without a home, people with nowhere to go. The infected across the world are growing more and more numerous. It's not that the disease is becoming more virulent, it's just that the world is becoming more cruel. I will agree with that. Either I didn't see much of it in the early chapters of ARKNIGHTS, but in these recent ARKNIGHTS chapters, in like 11 plus, you see more and more like cruelty for sure. The great worthies have so much to say about the modern era we live in, an unprecedented era of a high-speed battleship, nomadic cities of industry. How enlightened our era is, how tragic our era is. Stand together. Can the infected really stand together naturally? Who do we stand with? Is it just the infected? That nomadic city we're dreaming of, does it have a place for them? Is a city enough to accommodate everything? What is going on in this chapter? Depression. Well, the summary is, we have, oh fuck, I don't wanna remember that. I'm skipping that part. We are taking refuge. So this is a timeline of events. The Doctor has taken refuge on one of the Duke's battleships, and then Amiya gets taken. The battleship gets ambushed, and Amiya gets taken, and we go and rescue her, and then now we transition over to Vina's perspective, and Vina and Horn and her crew are defending a very point of interest of the Sarkaz, and then there's a lot of shit going on now that I think about it. There's a holy shit. There's so many things going on. But right now we're with Reunion, and Reunion is trying to get a medicine. It looks like Reunion's trying to get a medicine factory going. Okay, Jean, don't stop right there. When you pass on knowledge, it slowly devolves into misinformation. The telephone game. Have y'all ever played the telephone game? Y'all know what that is? Take the herbs, we need to leave. There is no application to join Reunion. If you're willing to fight side by side with us, you're already Reunion. But I'm not infected. It's not only the infected who want to resist, and besides, I need you to help me figure out who killed that Sarkaz man. They need to be punished. I can already tell who did it. Now come on, let's go. Whatever you feed me, I am an echo chamber. We make our way quickly through the gigantic tanks. Some places have already started collapsing. The air is full of the pungent scent of alcohol, with smoke floating in from somewhere. The workshop where the Victorian reunion began is about to go up in flames. We're almost there, quickly now. The waves of intense heat hit May's struggle to stay standing. The herbs in her arms are lifted by the hot air. What's the chances of May's being a potential waifu? Emmy. Leave me in my half Filipino tongue twisting alone. Above our heads roars the sound of buckling metal. Well, alright, I push her away. Then I jump up with all my strength and gather up the petals. Or what's the chance of guard? A collapse. It's hot. The sun is burning. I'm burning. Is that the exit? A few steps further. But they're watching behind me. Those eyes, are they judging me or just judging my insignificant death? What did they expect of me? I can't think about it. I can't. Maybe I let them down with their deaths. They should hope for a more meaningful end for me. Wait a minute, this better not be Guard's end. Guard has been such a significant character to me. They can't be off in Guard like this. I'm I'm trying to find time to watch the anime. I'm on season 2, the one with Frost Nova in it, which I'm dreading. Actually, no, I've been putting it on hold because it has Frost Nova in it. I've been scared to go watch. And also, I'm trying to find a way to stream like anime and stuff without it being blocked on YouTube or something. Maybe we'll probably have to watch it on Twitch. Maybe, I don't know. And that's what scares me, Nano. That's what scares me. I can't think about it. I can't. Maybe I let them down with their... Like, I don't know, dying on the steps of the palace in deity Grifferberg. Anyway, not here. Not dying for an uninfected woman I just met, holding some broken petals in my arms. How could I face them here? But I still need to face them. Come on, guard. Come on. Take them and go. The exit's right ahead. Don't lose them this time. I might have crushed some of the petals. Give them to a woman named Nine. She knows what to do. Don't dwaddle. It hurt. It's hot. It burns. I remember the afternoon when I first learned I had oropathy. That was its exact time. What was it exactly that caused my infection? I still don't actually know. Maybe it was the time I fell in the river and something scratched my leg. Must have been an active Orgean crystal instead of a rock. Maybe it was the dust I inhaled in the mines. Maybe it was industrial waste from factories, maybe. Hey Oshitsune, how you doing? That's what's scaring me though, Jean. But when I got home, the smell of the smoke in the room hadn't dissipated. My luggage was packed and placed on the table where we usually ate together. I found a salt lake, but I wasn't lucky. Maybe I chose the wrong place. There was no boat at the time. I owe a lot to the Rhode Island operator who came over and talked to me when I was sitting by the lake. Who was it? Wait. Not guard. Who, what's his name? Rook. Rook. What's his name? Fuck. He died in like the first chapter. King. No, not King. Ace. Yes, is Ace came up and talked to him. That's who it's gotta be, right? 9 Red Percival Tallulah. I'm not sure if I'll be burned to cinders by the time you find me, but I hope this recorder survives. You ask, are we fighting for all the infected? Whether they're despicable upper class or even royalty? Or are the people we unite with the people we want to fight alongside? Only the infected? Only them? I'll allow that, Nano. I'll allow that. When I was in LGD, I used to spend my afternoons going around the city. I knew very well my duty, what I was expected to fight against. Is this Chen? The last time we saw Chen was at the end of chapter 9 or 10. Chapter 9 is the start of Act 2, right? In Victoria. Back then I thought people were just so easily corruptible. All of us are born pure and without flaw, but evil creeps in with age, like how mold corrodes every branch and leaf on a plant. Oh no, wait, is this 9? I used to think this land could be rid of evil if we were strong enough, selfless enough. I held that belief until I became infected, until I went to Lungmen's slums, and I realized that justice is even weaker than men are. When mutated plants grow from dirty soil and the flowers in the greenhouse qualified to create their twisted forms, do they have the authority to cut off their branches? There is no way we can talk about the same kind of justice until we share the same soil. Yeah, is it? What happened? What do you mean? I'm not doing none of that. How do we get everyone out of the building and as far away as possible? My stuff's still inside. It's all my family has. What stuff? Pillows and a mattress and the last of the belongings I took from my home. Are you mad? Follow me to the back where it's safe. What are you talking about? I'm just reading, chat. Come on. The crowd's so chaotic. There's so many people running out from there. We don't know who's infected and who isn't. And there might even be some market fugitives among them. We don't know where they even came from. And this fire, we're not far from the battlefield. Who knows what kind of attention we will attract. We could leave right now. We're not responsible for this fire. One hand reading? No, I don't do one hand reading. If you want to know what my other hand is doing, my other hand is massaging my foot because I have plantar fasciitis, where my heel has problems. No, not the third leg. People are screaming, crying, falling into the mud, and crawling back up to their feet. The fire burns a rosy red behind them. No, I'm reading the story, Nano. He's infected who started the fire. Some infected exploded, so that distillery. What's that got to do with us? Wasn't it you lot who brought that sarcasm here? Not us. It's all because of you, infected. We could have been hidden here for so much longer if it weren't for you. The bloody hell did you just say? Did you already forget who took you all in? You dare strike me? Enough. Incessant bickering. Endless verbal abuse. If you don't want to move, I can send you back into the fire. Reunion, you and Maze are the same gang. If it weren't for the infected, if it weren't for you infected, and what if we weren't infected? Open your eyes. We're not the ones who caused you to lose everything you own and made you huddle together in an abandoned distillery, nothing but the clothes on your back. We're no different, except for the stones in our body. We had everything taken from us by the disease, but you haven't experienced how hard it gets, and yet here you are in the same wretched plight as us. Can you read binary? No, I don't know what that says at all. I only know it's 110110100. 1101101010101010110. Sage the going to lobster. No, that is a goated to lobsters video. Is she really like that? What would you know? Ever had a finger chewed off by a machine on the assembly line? Being thrown out of a factory? Had your house burned down by some lord? You yell about the injustice you suffer, but you're not the only ones who live unfair lives. The vest scout who burned down my house, everyone says his son actually has orthopathy. But so what? A big wig like him can just send his son to a fancy hospital in Colombia. But us? Me? He burned down my house with my 2 children inside it, just because I couldn't pay my taxes, just because I talked back to him, and no one dares to care. Because he's high and mighty, while I'm disabled and poor. You're not the only ones enslaved by your fates, so why does it seem like you're the only ones who can actually stand up to those bullies so brazenly, and we need to kill them? Why? Because we don't want to remain enslaved in those chains. No one ever said you couldn't fight against it. There's no way I could do that. I don't have your Algerian arts. Don't make excuses for yourself. It's not like every infected comes with powerful arts. 9. We're already grouping up. Are we evacuating? Tell Red to bring a few of his men to monitor our surrounding. The battlefronts near us are currently at a dreadnought, so the warring parties might be unable to spare any manpower to inspect a distant fire. Percival, help me calm down the people who just escaped and get their names as you examine and provide medical treatment. We'll stay here for one more day at most to be safe. And make you assault a captive to make sure you're in that area though. You know this does. What if I told you I had the update to solve CAPTCHAs? I'll help. I'm familiar with burns and respiratory blockage. Oh, we haven't been able to contact Guard yet either. We're not sure if he made it out. Don't worry, I'll find him. We both made it out of Chernobog after all. 9. The contraction of oxygen dust particles. I was already rushing towards building distillery. I've entered a scene like this before, back in London multiple times, as an LGD officer and as a slum resident. Fire means loss and also destruction. I always see tears falling upon charred remains. Sometimes they're from infected, and other times they are regular citizens. And at moments like these, rumors will spread through the spectating crowd. The casualties were a few infected, or perhaps they were regular citizens. Maybe it was an infected expecting revenge on his neighbor who had harassed him, or his uninfected neighbors were fed up with all the sick people hiding just next door. But no one has ever questioned why fires uptown are always extinguished as soon as possible, while the big blazes that destroy several buildings and cause an unclear number of casualties always happen in the slums. Chat, whenever a infected dies, do they always explode, or do they sometimes have like a normal death, or not explode? Do they always disintegrate, or do sometimes they just fall over and like kick the bucket? Depends. Okay, so they don't always. That's what I was wondering, if they always disintegrate or not. Assimilation? Yes and no, I guess. And it's like a yes and no, isn't it? I burst through the distillery doors and I witnessed a portion of the building fiery collapse not far from the exit. A single hand extends from the metal and debris, holding onto guard's recorder. Most become rock. like mud rock? This is part of what happens. It just disintegrates you in the process. Or are the people we unite with the people we want to fight alongside? Only the infected? Only them? We infected are just the culmination of all the decay there is. We gather as one because of our shared experience. But what unites us is not just disease. Let's say we meet a noble abusing his power to exploit the people. How would we treat him? If he was actually uninfected, we can't use our infection as our soul's coercion or slogan. Our companions must share the same belief. We will not only retaliate against the humiliation we suffered, but also liberate the same people who have caused us pain. We can't use our infection. Okay, yeah. We are all not the only ones enslaved across the lands, so we should stand with them together. We need to get them to stand with us. We can't just fight against disease. What should we actually be fighting against? What are we building here? Many years ago, when I had just become an infected, I really loved drinking back then. Ace warned me that if I carried on with that hobby of mine, I'd die with my drink someday. And here I am in a distillery. What the fuck? How ironic. How poetic and ironic. Man, the devs cook, but the devs be cooking too hard. Like, I hate how hard they cook. 9, you've replayed it so many times now. Oh, a time skip. I know. Tallulah, I've been wondering, if we really did manage to build a city for the infected, what would it look like? Are you sure it wouldn't be a hospice at its core? Man, chat, that kind of makes me sad. It kind of makes me sad. I was excited to follow Guard and his perspective of the world, because every time we get his perspective, it's always from someone that has a pretty good fighting chance and staying alive. But Guard is just a regular, average Joe trying to survive. I saved some gas for Enfield, man. I have to cook for both. Man, but yeah, no, I was hoping to see Guard, and his perspective of all the wars and all the fights that's happening, in the future, not just now, but in the future. Well, we lost a real one. Oh shit, my leg. Oh my god, my thigh. Oh my god, I'm cramping. Fuck. Okay. Oh. Okay, I felt a little cramp. Before I go to bed, I'm gonna be drinking me some pickle juice or something. All we do in the city is to wait for everything to be covered in a blanket of disintegrated origin dust, for our deaths to come one by one. No, Zip, that's not right. I was cramping, not combusting. We can't just wait for our ends to come like this. 9. Tallulah. What is it? I'm thinking of leaving your group for a bit. Yesterday I met some people among the fairy trees who escaped from Londinium. They mentioned some matters I'm very concerned about, that maybe someone I've been seeking this whole time is still hiding in there. So I've been heading over. It's just a coincidence, Zip. It's just a coincidence. Londinium isn't safe at all right now. I think Tallulah had already told you about me. You're long-lived. Yes, there's no way for me to die. I've become more and more sick of this reality of mine. Sometime you took this. It's a very convenient and not very convenient timing. You want to kill yourself. How did you get your longevity in the first place? Longevity, huh? How did I first come to realize the joke that fate played on me? I had my share of happy days too. I came to know the one and only wife I've had children, a family devoted my heart and soul to Argenum arts research. Of course, I was the primary focus of my studies. My children grew up while we grew old. Everything was going as natural order of things, until my wife died in an accident. War broke out, and I was forced to leave my children. I suddenly realized in the years I spent as a refugee that I hadn't changed at all. The emperor started a war. A king was hanged years later, and then the duke's conspiracies came to light. Afterward, the sarcasm. I don't change a single bit in all those years until today. I have nightmares every day, and in them I hear a voice I don't recognize, or maybe it's every voice I recognize calling out to me together. Pain makes you live forever, and only happiness can kill you. So he needs to be happy. How about we take this guy and we go drinking? What do you think, chat? Why don't we go drinking with this guy? Either he becomes very, very depressed, or he becomes very, very happy. Actually, I was already aware of this early on, but what can I even do to feel happiness and relief? Especially after witnessing death after death and experiencing tragedy after tragedy. We're in an era of suffering and despair, so I shall go look for those hiding behind the curtain. What if he is like an aggressor and he tries to kick your ass? That is a very possible path we could take. Maybe, how about this? How about we tie him to a chair and then we give him the alcohol? We help him drink the alcohol. I have no right to make you stay, but there is no need to say your goodbye so quickly. If you wish to return to the nexus of the war, we might not have to go our separate ways. Hey, if he's level 1, then I have a fighting chance, right, chat? Is that so? I thought you would return to Columbia after gathering up enough hands. Running to another place will never put a stop to anything. Fair enough, perhaps the foes we're facing are fundamentally similar. Also, leave a bouquet of flowers for guard on my behalf. I will. 9. Percival. I'm fine, I just got some smoke in my eyes. We're done registering the third batch of infected, and all 7 of them have gotten medicine from this workshop before. They told me many infected used to gather and live in a tiny village near this forest to access the workshop. When the workshop was destroyed, most of them left or died, but some still remained close by. They were all drawn here by the huge blaze. I looked at petals given to me by the person they called Maze. The reunion doctor here spent their life here for these herbs, and according to her, Guard also died for them. I recognized most of these plants. The infected used to chew them for pain relief, before modern pharmaceutical companies were a thing. Perhaps the effectiveness of our crude drugs can improve by referencing these, even if just by a little. We can't simply wait for our end, watch ourselves wither away. There's more work to be done. Guard, we didn't manage a clean conclusion on our last discussion, but I have to make a decision on my own now. We want to hold a little farewell rite for Guard, and it won't take much time to do so. Right. I'll make some flowers bloom here. I feel like I'm in Sami with the background. The enormous blaze burns throughout the night. We finally abandon our effort to recover Guard's body. Red finds a beautiful sturdy tree, its trunk perfectly pointing up toward the sky. He digs a hole and buried that cute towel of Guard's in it. Flowers grow around the freshly dug soil. The floral patterns on the towel were too crude. A garden like this suits him better. I'm done questioning everyone that came out from the workshop. The Sarkas died in the underground warehouse, the one who rode the motorbike. He was murdered by a few infected Victorians. They were driven out of their homes by the Sarkas. Some of them lost their loved ones too, so they felt rightfully furious, and I calmed them down a little. What's the plan? Back in Ursus, everyone used to think it was through the power of unity that Reunion managed to fight it together with the Patriot unit, or with the patrol unit, taxmen, and mine guards. That wasn't the case. We simply had no other choice left to break the knife pointed at our throats. We used to act on our enmity, but our target of hate has both become increasingly vague and broad. The infected have no homeland, no identity, no bloodline. We can't just carry on with just a provocative slogan. We need to set clear guidelines and principles. Guard and I discussed about this before. He said to ignore the infected in positions of power because they still enjoy exploiting others with their authority and see disease only as a tool. And that we should also grant the same kind of liberation to any oppressed people, and not just our sick brethren, because they fight alongside us and will need their strength to put up a fight. Chernobog has taught us enough. He was always thinking so much about this. I thought he could really take us to achieve some great feats. He will, even if he's dead. He merely died when he was still seen as insignificant and deplorable. What about these murderers? People who violently vent their grievances unprovoked cannot join us. It was war that turned them to brutality, even if they were just Victorians before. If we let this slide, what will happen to our group next? Ursian, Colombian, Victorian, Lithuanian, Feline, Pero, Liberi, Caprene, Sarkaz. Power should be distinctly directed towards a common goal, then become cracks of resentment that give others a chance to dismantle us from within. Bodrakas T and Ursus should have taught us this lesson. They will be banished. They will have to find their own path by themselves. Reunion will make sure of it. I understand. I'll relay that to everyone, and I'll handle those murderers too. Watch Red just banish them from the group, and then the next night they're just found in a ditch dead somewhere because of him. Tallulah, there's an infected I used to know who comes from an eminent lineage and held a distinguished position, but she threw it all away in her quest for fairness. You know her. Everyone here has heard of your ideas. Reunion's earliest vision, exaggerated, distorted, but what we want is not a nomadic city for the infected. What we want is to send a message to all the aristocrats, oppressors, those trying to divide, suppress, and eliminate us. The blade they so despise hangs high above their necks. Our goodbyes have already been said. This isn't the first, nor will it be the last. Let's go. Our work in Victoria isn't done yet. I wanna see more of like 9 and the way she fights. So 6, 13, 16 done, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21, 22. So 17. What about 18? Story 18. And then 19, 21. So one story chapter for like the upcoming 3 that we read here. 13, 17. What time is it? 12. Since our escape with Ursula, they tightened to the defenses around that cave. W and her bombs helped us get out once, but that may not work a second time. We haven't been able to get close again. I'm sure the drifting bones hasn't returned yet. That is, I was sure until we all had the same dream. The ash-bleached city engulfed in flames, the shattered walls, the charred corpse piled in every corner. The city did not leave the dream until we opened our eyes. The flames trampled every settlement, every clan. The place we called Kazdel no longer exists. Only fire and ruin remain. And despairing giant knelt down and wept. In ancient Sarkaz, the king of Sarkaz is dead. The king killed the king. Why, this should not be. Our city, Kazdel. This would be a curse engraved upon the crown. This would be the beginning of the end of all. The Ferranmut has returned. Tomorrow morning that the attack begins, Siege and her exemplars will be responsible for the perimeter. Us, the Rhodes Rabbit and the Banshee have to get deep into that way station. Banshee, oh, Logos. Where's that old bitch sit? She's sending us all on this suicide mission without making it so much as a cameo appearance. I mean, the last time she saw Calcit, I think she sent her through a couple walls, didn't she? Her injuries have not yet healed. Ascalon will look after her and the doctor. They will stay behind. Will's Island recently came under a Confessari attack. They were trying to take the bunny's crown. The crown? Horror, you didn't tell the Victorians the truth. If your plan works and we go back to Kazdel, what are you going to do? Even your new Victorian friends are probably not going to be okay with you bundling war criminals in with Sarkaz caught up in the war. Don't tell me you vowed to bring the Sarkaz home, but never thought through this little problem. Like, are you gonna head off to teach a class on historical reflections to this bunch of grunts dragged off dragged off the battlefield in that Casdale basement university? No, maybe I'll start a literacy class there. Make sure future sarcasms have fewer illiterates like W. What? Do my ears deceive me? Did Hoarder actually make a joke out of Inez's words on a serious topic? What happened? Did sucking up to General Manfred teach you a little emotional intelligence? War's over, back to Kazo. Real funny, we're actually fantasizing about this stuff here. Man, I keep forgetting Inez isn't sarcasm. It throws me off so much. I mean, is that really the color of her horns, or did she like color them? Did she paint them? Did she paint her horns? Let's see. We're mercenaries, and that's all we're ever gonna be. You're such a lovely Capri, Inez. Maybe you could run off to Lithuania and become a governess for some hoity-toity noble in a big, tall tower. You could teach, let me think, how to keep your hair nice and silky in a war zone? How's that sound? Not interested. What are you daydreaming about? The battle's about to start. No, Inez's gaze shift down to my feet ever so slightly. She's looking at my shadow again. What is it showing? I don't know myself. I'm rarely so calm before an op. Calm gives me a chance to think about all sorts of things. A few trivial things. I remember you said you wanted to open a shop in Casdale. Because I didn't have a place to fence stolen goods at the time. Oh yeah. How about we use the first round of tuition from my literacy class for your startup capita? I doubt that class is gonna earn you much. On the other hand, kidnapping the Lithuanian governess could fetch a decent ransom. Gotta be at least as much as 10 merc heads. Let's talk about it when we make it home for real. Yeah, your mental state has me worrying if you can really handle this mission. Did those illusions or the art circles drive you mad? Maybe they did. In this moment of extreme calm, some tendrils of unease irritate my heart, causing hesitation. Amidst my own surprising thoughts, I find the reason for my anxiety. I'm worried they won't accept me because of some of my ideas. But I have to speak. The arrow is knocked. Pay no attention to this mopey idiot. Time waits for no one. Once we stake the vampire and behead Teresa's, then you two can head on back to Kazla and talk over all the interior decorating plans for you. What the fuck is this? There might as well. They might as well just tell us that they're married. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is. Let me have my Inez. Teresa's. I've been thinking about this for a while. W. You may not like what I'm about to say, but I still have to say it. Throwing cold water over me before that fight? Pretty much. We can't kill Teresa's, at least not right now. Right here or now. It can't be the sarcasm executing him. Inez was right. Those illusions did scramble your brains. Killing him means no Casdale, whether never now or for a good long while after the war. He has to be recorded as the regent and even be praised by some. Are you out of your mind? I really don't feel like joking about this. We still need to stop the war and I haven't changed my mind. But Teresa has taken his place as the cornerstone of the Sarkaz future. Casdale won't survive another split, and this war, it can't end with another Sarkaz betrayal. With another Sarkaz civil war. Remember this plan I was talking about before? We need the Sarkaz here to pull out of Victoria before everyone hears about his death. Once everyone knows about the Sarkaz have failed and the threat of Teresa is gone, what happens then? The Dukes will slaughter every last Sarkaz in Victoria without mercy. The revenge killing will spread to other countries in Centrum, and all civilization will have a justified excuse to exterminate the Sarkaz. Who's the next on the banner? Do y'all know? They'll put together a coalition just and reasonable, swift and decisive to divide up all of the Teresa's and Teresa's legacies. Can't you picture it? Picture that? To be honest, I don't give a shit about any consequence of Teresa's dying. All I'm here for is the part where he dies. Coalition slaughtering Sarkaz? Weren't they doing that already? Dumbledore dies. Quaz, I'm not taking too long reading. The fucking story is long itself. Yeah, never. Does Teresa's dying mean all the devils are just going to lose their will to fight back? No way, I don't buy that. He sent the assassins to kill us Teresa, declaring himself king and drag all of us into the mess we're in today. We didn't need to sacrifice ourselves for his Casdale, for his don't think you can keep yourself out of it, W. I thought I was gonna really let her have it, really tear into W, this sad woman. Do you think of yourself as nothing more than a merc? How many people have you brought from reunion to where we stand now? How many Sarkaz have you gathered? You're carrying their lives on your shoulders. I don't fucking care. Wait, hold on. Let me have this. I want this. Yeah. This is new. I've never seen this before, and I love it. A male limited with a female altar? What is a male limited with a female altar? That would be TT. It's W, what do you expect? But W is wavering. I know her too well. It's not like she hasn't thought about it. She isn't an uncaring leader at all. She's just a little crazy. Looking at it objectively, who with a whole lot of mercs have stepped up to follow this mad woman. TT first? I'm definitely pulling. You have to care. You think you can just keep on killing people, keep on burying bombs in the dirt? You're leading those Sarkaz now. You have to think about how to deal with their hopes and dreams. You have to think through what their lives mean to you. But there's not just Teresa's. Don't forget, there's Teresa too. So from all perspectives, all we can be is their successor, the inheritors of their ideals. Chat. Dagger inheritors? Is this a reference? Is that what this is? Hold on, is that the name of the cinematic? Is it Dagger Inheritor? Yeah. The two of them, they're the reason the Sarkaz could come together in the first place. That's not the real Teresa. That's a fake Teresa has cooked up. That's a fake Teresa has cooked up. He can't fool me. Dagger hair is like a long time ago. I mean, it's gotta be. It was like after. I mean, it was after Babel, right? So when did Dagger Inheritor drop? Well, like when did that first come out? W, look at yourself. Who do you think you are? You couldn't accept Teresa's death. You're stuck in a shadow of Babel. Like, shut up. You think Amiya's walking ahead of you? You think there's Teresa's hand-picked successor? That the King of Sarkaz should be thinking about this stuff? You look at her and see another Teresa. You think all you need to do is follow the king, Shut up. What are you trying to gross me out? You think you don't deserve to inherit anything? What kind of joke is this? You don't think you get me? You think you get me? You're my mentor now? You're gonna raise me? Teach me? Huh, Holder? You're just a merc, not much higher on the ladder than me. But you're so deluded you can stand up and call yourself a successor or whatever of whatever? It's so gross. The little bunny? I'm gonna follow her? She was in the right place at the right time to be chosen. Chosen by Teresa to become the leader of Rhodes Island, who stopped Reunion and Tallulah, who broke her way into Londinium today. So what about you, W? What exactly does Teresa mean to you? Some distant ethereal symbol who once gave you a place to stay, one specific flesh and blood royal, or the path she stood for? For this land to fall into peaceful slumber. So that's why I say she's a fake. The schedule is something along the lines of Pale Sea reruns, Trial Navigator, Bound TT Banner, Joy of Our Reunion rerun, then First of 1,000 Autumns, Sui Banner. Sui Banner. With Sui Banner. W. And as how have you managed to hold back from killing him this long? Because I'm not deluding myself most of the time. Spare me. Whatever, Holder. I know what I have to do, and I'm not going to kill you to shake up morals this time. You should be kissing my feet. Polish that sword of yours good. We've got a war tomorrow. She ran off again. Did you really think she could be a decent leader? She's organized a whole lot of mercs. Are they really mercs though? How much money does W have to hire them? And how much does she earn for them with the things she does? Alright then, why are they following her? No matter what she says, whether it's revenge for Teresa, hunting down the assassins, or just randomly bombing her way across the land, she's definitely walked her path. The ones who follow her really are sad, but people forget how young she is. She's got lots of room for improvement. Male Sui and an ultra of a female. Yeah, I'm not pulling on Sui. Yeah, I'm not pulling for that Sui. Then I'll just save for what's her name, the defender Sui. A reason for what? But people forget. Yep, move for movement. Why I skipped that banner? Which banner? We can hope. There's a lot of banners y'all are talking about. Which one you want me to talk about? Also, start countdown for your shop. Not a joke. I know. Sui will never have a banner dedicated to her again. What? What is this BS? Are you joking? Yeah, I'm not pulling on that one, Emmy. That's the worst thing I've heard all day. Limiteds never come back as main op. They are always off, right? Oh, really? So you're telling me W Alter will no longer come back as the main banner in a limited? Some of the Londinium South Salvation Corps volunteered to join our team. Yes, telling up the remains of the various ducal forces we've gathered, refugees who want to fight them, join the fight, and these military men from the Self-Salvation Corps. We have the strength of roughly 6 or 7 platoons. Are you gonna promise without word, Sage? Okay, if I have to pull on his banner to get Sui, I'm pretty lucky, so I'm fine. If I have to pull on his banner to get Shu, if I to get Shu, I will pull on his banner. Siege, we'd best formally establish the military structure of the exemplars, appointing officers such that our chain of command can. Lieutenant Shearer, this team is not a true military unit. It is not the Victorian army. True, we have some soldiers, but aside from you and the remains of Duke Windermere's forces led by Delphine, the rest are ordinary folk who want to fight, workers, farmers, merchants, and of course, street ruffians. Should we forcibly incorporate them into 1 or 2 combat units, arm them, and subordinate them to officers? Then what is the difference between us and the Dukes? Yeah, yes or no, what, Emmy? Hey Nina, how you doing? How's your sleep schedule been? Or to speak less grandly, it should bring the people something intangible, the likes of which the Duke's high-speed battleships can't bring. If I have to pull on his banner to get Shu, I will pull on the banner. For Shu. Bina, have you ever tried sleeping pills? The exemplar should not be a heroic force contained by the heir to the throne, wielding the exemplar should not be a heroic force contained by the heir to the throne, wielding the realm blade. I'm rather repulsed by such titles. They do not work. How about you potentially OD to make them work? I'm just joking. Don't OD. Don't OD. Abort. But then how are we going to organize our combat corporation? Speaking of combat operations, a considerable portion of our team has not undergone any regular military training. When in Londinium, do as the Londinians do, eh? Just as we did in Chetley, just as the Self-Salvation Corps did in Londinium. We're killing the Sarkaz in our familiar way with our familiar friends. Man, everybody's just fuck the Sarkaz, huh? Bro, like trying to not notice what the OP male officer shoot. I don't care about the male op, not one bit. Medical advice. Hey, if they want medical advice from me, that it's their funeral, because I'm not a doctor. No offense, sarcasm. None taken, no harm done. You built Tragodia and Zoli first then? Because they looked interesting. And Tragodia has a cat. You should know this, Emilia. I built Tragodia so I can use his cat. And I built Zoli because it has a cool ass outfit. Ethan, because Ethan was my only solution to something that I couldn't finish back in the day. The ritual has been terminated, but the blessing bestowed on the Sarkaz blood has not completely gone with it. Over Lindimian Way, ancient witchcraft stirs. Our mortal enemy operates with unknown purpose, but the urgency they will present an opportunity for a breakthrough. We will be extra cautious. Then, let's snatch that bone back. I mean, like Ethan. Like so I used Ethan to fight the dragon. No, not the dragon. Was it a dragon or a wolf? Where like they gathered like a fire in one of the events, and then it was like a big open field. Where I feel like to eat dinner. Wait, it's about 2 a.m. I'm gonna make some toast. Make some PB and J, Bina. Make some PB and J. Ling. No, no, there were like they're like little lights of fire that went into like this orb, and once they went into the orb, they like gave the dragon a shield or something. No. They gave the dragon like took half of the floor or the stage. The plan was a success. The Victorian art attack did distract a portion of the forces here. We're in, and it's here. Are you the sarcasm from last time? How did you... Is this a joint attack with the Victorians? Sorry. No, so someone suggested using and building Ethan for that fight, so that's what I did. No. When the giant no, that's not a giant dragon. Blana had a flying dragon. This dragon that I fought took half of the floor. Kill the traitors. Kill the sarcasm traitors. In IS6? No, not IS. It was an event. Ursula isn't here to welcome us. Logos guessed right. Looks like she's too busy. Even though they take out the boost their drop rates. Okay. Ling event? Oh, was it Ling event? You know, let me come in last time. This sucker's huge. Can I blow it into 2 halves? No, stay with the team. Get into its spine and seize its operator. Amiya. Yes, I feel it. He's here. I follow the Banshee's gaze through the shadow cast on the rock. A hint of blood invades my nostrils. Does this skeleton have veins? Lifebone's commander and the youngest major in the Kazda military commission. Fight not for any specific reason or organization, but rather for the possibility that Sarkaz can one day become a true country. Man. The one where the enemies turned into flying items and they died. I forgot I broke the toaster, so I went with Hot Pocket. Hey, I love Hot Pocket. What kind of Hot Pocket did you get, Bina? If I remember correctly, the dragon stabbed my operator with a huge tail that was in the shape of a sword, and it just one shot. No. Yeah, it one shot my operator. And then the dragon also had like an AoE attack that had like that did an attack that hits my operators above my, like it hit an operator, and it also hits the operator above that operator, to the right of that operator, to the left of the operator, and to the bottom of the operator. Yes, that's a Link event dragon. Invitation to wine. Okay. Pizza? Ugh. Pizza Hot Pocket. I like the ham and cheese Hot Pocket. Ham and cheese Hot Pocket's my favorite. In my wardrobe, I have a drawer specifically for collecting medals. The medals I received upon graduating from Spry Military College, the 15-year service medal from the Defense Force, the Lithium Freedom Medal awarded to me by City Hall 4 years ago, After quelling the chaos in the city, deeper in the drawer are the remains of a previous order passed down through my family. The emblem of Vic's Vanguard, a piece of brick from Longonis, and a golden cup awarded by His Majesty Corsica I. The cup is now split into two pieces, and the etching on top are unclear. However, I remember the layout of each pattern and the expression on each relief figure. This is all that my parents, my uncles, and aunts, all that they hope for. The glory of Gaul, a glory that cannot be denied and would never fade. I know I can't stand Pizza Hot Pocket. It's yeah. The cup is quite weighty. You should be able to sell it for a good price. The market for Gaulish pieces has always been brisk. Ethan, because his poison destroys all the hit count summons. Exactly. It was the summons that were like going into like this orb that would give him a shield or something. Even if you melt the thing and sell it as raw gold, it should be enough for you to easily buy an apartment in the finest part of any city. Here is the key to my home. Keep it. The things are in the wardrobe. Pick a place and start over. Forget everything that happened this past year. Call it a fleeting nightmare. Former Defense Forces, sir, it was you who saved me with those Sarkas were chasing me. You hid me in the Defense Forces office. I should be thanking you. I'm no longer a member of the forces or your Gaulish compatriot. You didn't have to. Take it. If you find anything else in the house you like, it's yours. The memories mean little to me anymore. You'll want to hide here for a while, yet you'll want to hide here for a while yet, until the situation stabilizes. Alright, Bina, you do that. You do that. You need to sleep, Bina. The military commission has disarmed the defense forces. As it stands now, you're no different from the Victorian civilians to the Sarkas. I don't want you collapsing during my streams, Bina. I want you to be here for the whole thing, so you get a good night's sleep. But our comrades are still outside. Some of them are unsettled. I want to save them all. They've all been captured. I handed them over to the military commission myself. You what? The anger in his eyes deflated before it could reach a peak. A coward. I valued him as much in the past. He may have had some courage in battle, but ultimately he is a coward. He survives here with me in ignominy. He can't be compared to those warriors who resist the Sarkas. He could never compare. I don't care. It's a long time since I cared. Sir, what are you going to do next? Me? The Sanguinarch of Vampires have been waiting for me for some time. Stay here, wait until it's all done before you go. If you want to live, you'd best pray that when you open the door, the cheering you hear is Victorians and not the devils. Cheering Victorians, the first thing that comes to my mind is surprising that Victoria will win. No, it's probably just a force of habit. Naturally, I hope that Teresa's will win. That's the prerequisite to him restoring Gaul. All my sacrifices, all my betrayals, all my unforgivable sins were etched into the service of Gaul. Yes, of course, I serve Gaul. I hope. Groups of people are led out by the Sarkas forces, heading for the city walls in the distance. The Sarkas intend to fortify Londinium, and I'm afraid the final battle lies right before us. Do they plan to defend the Victorian capital, perhaps? Some of the men cast resentful glances at me. I know them. We once shared a toast. No one stops me. The Sarkas didn't care where I'm going. Even if you open the door for a cage fowl beast, where can it fly? I haven't seen you in a while. I didn't expect to encounter you like this. This may be a good sign. At least you haven't been executed by the Sarkaz. Do you have time to chat? I know you. You're Clovicia, the little sister of the Self-Salvation Corps, yes? The little leader. What the fuck? What the fuck? The little sister. This is so sad. We've cleared out all your bases. The remaining forces have all fled Londinium. Why are you still here? Some of the thanks go to the defense forces, and some go to the caster for keeping her promise. Her Chili Asher did indeed ensure the smooth evacuation of the Self-Salvation Corps. The Duke of Caster. I guessed your identity a long time ago, but now no matter which of the dukes you're vassal or puppet of, I no longer care. I may not know how capable you really are, but Londinium as she stands is no place for a rebellious child to be wandering around. Go back to your hiding place. Treasure the fact that the Sarkaz have not caught you yet. I'll pretend I never saw you. Letao, you've been cowering in Londinium for long enough. After losing contact with the Self-Salvation Corps, I quickly found new objectives to work on within Londinium. We were betrayed too, and I don't even know who the traitors were, but I don't have time to dwell on that. The situation within the city far surpasses our understanding of a nomadic city under occupation. What's happening now is something you won't find in the history books. I know that better than anyone. But have you seen what's going on outside the city? I've seen the Sarkaz art circles, the red light in the sky, the war machines in their many forms. Things unlike the military equipment of any ordinary nation. I've seen Hex crafters floating in mid-air, seizing control of the sky, forcing drones and arts alike to fall. I used to think that the description of the Sarkaz military in the so-called next to her were tall tales, literary embellishments for horror's sake. I don't think that anymore. When death itself opens its door, what man-made hell do we face? And what of the dukes? The ducal armies, they're resilient, grand, but they stand on the horizon out of reach. I suppose you may be feeling guilt and melancholy, perhaps mixed with a dash of pride. Crap. You ponder the cruel choices you've made, but your mission is now accomplished. I guess you proposed a deal to Teresa's regarding nomadic cities that once belonged to Gaul. Londinium is too small, she can't contain the Sarkaz's ambition. He is simply using this place to provoke the expansionist lust of Terra's other powers. Do you honestly believe he cares at all for your Gaul? Londinium's fall is complete, but you are no fool. You see it. The military commission of Castel has no intention of occupying Victoria. Correct, I am no fool. I never once placed my hopes in Teresa's keeping his word, and you still had a hand in so many tragedies. Are you trying to create an opportunity, like what the Sarkaz are doing for Casdale? Perhaps the war will extinguish the ducal militaries, making space for the ghosts of Gaul to return to the land of the living. I mean, that's what it is, Emmy. That's what it is. But the question is, do you actually believe that? What else can I believe in? I've admitted my weakness. Do you need me to admit my stupidity, my despair, my irrelevance? What do you want from me? Cooperation. The Self-Salvation Corps, those resisting the Sarkaz, those struggling for survival among Victoria nonsensical nobility, they all still have a chance, and that which you seek, or your so-called Gaul, may also exist within that chance. Gaul, oh Gaul, it seems you're still willing to fight. For a person like you, the dusty rubble is a platform from which to grab the next ledge. For you, those like you, for the military commission, you are strong enough to subvert a nation, to change the course of history, not to mention manipulate the fate of one or two men like me. Enough of the self-pity. There is still much we can do before hell descends upon us. Whether you consider this a form of atonement or the beginning of a new struggle doesn't matter to me. But Letao, I hope we can. Now then, oh great one, can you tell me how I might save myself? There it is. You haven't a clue yourself. Let me by. You really won't turn back. I won't. Then I can't say I wish you well. Your hands are stained with the blood of so many, with the blood of my friends, and you carry on with such despicable decisions. Oh, let's see. I had to okay that because let's see. That'll do then. Run along now. The Sarkaz are coming. I still have to say goodbye. Says Lingones Baignet Nos Yux de Larmes. I hope I didn't summon demons. Le champ de bataille es charge de amaretome de pine. Mas se jo veldra c'est certain. Pour jugar a mart less aggressor. Pour jugar a mart less aggressor. Jesus Christ. Pronounced French. Was it French? A Vux vanguard living in the city. Why is he the first thing to come to my mind in this moment? Name, rank, unit. Your baton is pressed against my waist rather harshly, sir. Fermez la. Report name, rank, and unit sold out. Lingones, Youth Vanguards, 2nd Regiment de la Garde Sultante, Corporal Letal. My unit. Yes, your unit. I've never seen you before. You have, you've just forgotten, sir. Have I? Se Majesté, he ordered me to recover here, but I want to know what's happening on the front lines. Le Roy Source, the wicked Witch King, did our fleet destroy him? I saw it on the television, the Victorian Duke with the great big huge beard, his army. Did they wish to betray Sa Majesté or our great emperor? They will stab him in the back too? Sir Londinium has fallen. C'est bien, good. I'll be promoted to the Vex Vanguard. It's not your time yet. You still need to prove yourself. He's nearly 90 years old. He's been not entirely there for quite some time, forgetting nearly everything. For decades, his mind has remained in the golden age when the Gaulishmen joined Corsica, first march into Lithuania. The nurses always said he had only a year to live, but he's still here. He's lived to see Gaul become history. He's lived to Londinium teetering on the edge of her grave. Before I left the defense force, I issued one last order to guarantee the safety of this sanatorium. This is the only thing I did for myself in my entire long service to the forces. I brought you a Reims champagne from Lingones, your favorite. Have a seat, won't you? A fine drink, Corporal. Says Lingones Bagnet Nos Yux de Larmes. Le chap de bataille es charge de amaritume de pine. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jagar amort les aggressor. When you sing that song, it's as if there never was any pain, as if you never aged a day. Not drapot. Oh man, my thigh is like I'm having sharp cramps, but for a split second. Norte de Pau Serra Tojos Glorix. I've never seen Lingones. You told me again and again about those magnificent halls, the flourishing road networks. Do you remember Golding, the girl who visited you with me so many years ago? She's dead. She died for this cruel, unshakable, blood-stained road. Golding? I forgot, and I hate it. I don't why. Golding was so nice though. She was so nice. Ugh. And I'm the one of the murderers responsible for it all. Yeah. Fucking men. I don't know what to feel for her, but she's gone. She's out of my sight, and she certainly never see me anymore. I'm frightened, sir. A girl called Amiya says that all I've done was done out of cowardice. I once confessed to Golding that my only goal was to survive the ruin to come, but I still hope, even if it's just a pretext, I still hope that from the ruins a new ghoulish man will raise. Ghoulish man? No, that's not it. I wish Golding could keep on teaching the children under the sunshine among the fragrance of the flowers. The leg that's irritated, try with your leg straight to curl your toes up for a few seconds. Curl your toes up? Oh yeah, no, I do that whenever it gets terrible. Her persistence was truly beautiful, but me, I'm the one who I've done all I can, sir. It's tiring. Do you think we still have a future? He'd fallen asleep minutes ago, right then. I draw my saber, a sword that once belonged to a ghoulish man. I think it might be better to let him remain in that dream before the Sarkas force their way in. At least it'd be a splendid dream. You know what, chat? I might be a terrible person, but I think I agree with Latau for doing this for this old man. But me, despicable man that I am, dare not reach out to pollute. The blood of the aged youth vanguard splattered my hand. I'm kidding, you're terrible. The Prince of Blood himself, the sanguinarch of vampires, looked silently at the extravagant decor of the Victorian palace. The expression on his face could be described as serene. You came, Leto. Here I thought you'd find somewhere to hide. No, of course not. I was always going to come find your highness. You seem spirited today. I'm pleased. Ever since that old ghoulish teacher of yours died, you've been quite the buzzkill. Old ghoulish teacher? Who? Not Golding, cause that's not his teacher. Was it the old man? I made a bet with my children. They wagered that you were about to die, but I believed in you, Latau. Have a drink with me. To the defeat of your enemies, the death of the nation of Victoria. I'll bring the ritual myself, bestowing the most ancient curse, the most tragic end, and so I will be leaving soon. Even my own kin don't enjoy such an honor. You should be grateful. My finger, my pinky finger cramped, and it wanted just to do that. It just wanted to... Oh. You know, Your Highness, by the time I was born, gold capital had already been raised by the Dukes of Wellington and his despicable accomplices. A city annihilated as one breathes a sigh. Now it seems you will do the same to Londinium. Will you weep for her? I just didn't expect it. Duke Wellington dismantled Lingones, pulling those mobile plates apart. So silly, so boring. The Victorians. Would you like to settle the blood debt with your own hands? I admire your persistence. I could grant you an opportunity. Your Highness is most magnanimous. I bow deeply, but I feel his gaze lingering on me. Pathetic. Mean, fickle, cowardly, self-righteous. Begging for mercy out of fear, self-destructing out of despair. But I'm still very curious about you. In the scheme of your insignificant life, we spent quite some time together. Do you really think you can kill me, Letao? You won't. My very blood grips my heart. You may think to yourself the Sarkaz is so arrogant, so contemptuous. On the contrary, Letao, consider what I am about to see. I am positively filled with affection for you. You are a fool, yes, and despicable indeed. You should cherish your blood. At first I thought they might have some more interesting uses. Such hasty farewells between us. The ghoulish man's sword, I did my best to reach it. The despicable man's sword. Poor man. Keep trying, give it all you've got, and you just might reach the hilt. I'll grant. What is it you're trying to say? I'm saying. The blade cuts across my throat, cold, chilling. I see my filthy blood gushing from my neck. The crimson liquid stains his clothes and splashes his face. I'm saying I'll grant you my blood, vile leech. You'll never boast about the purity of your blood ever again. Because the despicable Renato has polluted it. Wait, what happened? He just splattered his own blood all over him? Wait, no, he splattered... Did he cut his own neck and splattered it on the vampire? Or did he cut the vampire's neck and splattered it? If he cut the vampire's neck, then that's kind of underwhelming for me, because I thought the vampire would dodge the slash. Yeah, I think he cut himself, right? I'm trying to make sure I didn't read that wrong. Because he's insane. Duke Auriel, Regent Crimson, the host of the Crimson Court and the master of all Bloodborne. A drop of Tikaz's blood once flowed through his blood, and its last remaining purity has returned to the land. Now he has his sights set on the King of Sarkaz once again. He smiles, declaring that he has already slain one such king, and plans to bid farewell to the final one. Okay, chat, let's take a break. Did we take a break? Let me think. Did we watch? I'm trying to decide. Should we watch the state of play, or should we continue reading? Maybe we Let's see. Well, what's the difference? We can watch the state of play later if I'm still up for it. Let's see. Let's see if we can finish chapter 13. How dull. Do you think this would anger me? Offend me? Do you think I would kick your corpse in anger, curse your insolence? I'm not going to do any of that, Letao. Rene Letao. Insignificant man. Same as the land itself in my eyes. An annoyance. Alright, Quaz, you have a good one. Thank you for joining me. Did you think this act could give meaning to your pathetic life? Still so conceited, Letao. I won't give you another thought, not as much as a momentary glance. Teresa's vampire. If memory serves, I have some sort of role in your hypocritical military commission, but I haven't seen a war report from you in quite some time, nor have you attended any commission meeting in quite some time. You've always held the requisite command authority. Command authority? I don't need to command my offspring, they serve me naturally. They serve their court. Then you need to manage them better. The war's end approaches and your underlings need to play a more significant role. Their wanton behavior vexes me. The Western Front is wasting time. This is necessary for the ritual. Without enough blood and tears, how are we supposed to gather enough material for the witchcraft? You and Teresa told me about the ancient door you found, covered in scabs. Is the source of all Sarkaz suffering, the origin of our fate, really behind that door? The preparation for the ritual are complete, but one of the nodes, the town of Brentwood, is under attack by our enemies. Are you dispatching me to resolve these trifling nuisances for you, Teresa's? That reminds me, our reverend regent of the Military Commission. Since the commission has noted that this is such a crucial town, why did it not prepare any significant defenses? No shrouded casters, meat puppets, or any haphazardly bewitched flesh-woven brutes. I indulge you and your sister on account of your dazzling powerful souls. Weak Sarkaz call you regent, and the conversari have gathered around you, bringing Teresa back to you. The regent and the resurrected king of Sarkaz, what a fascinating pair of siblings. All of this owes to your actions, your power, not your status. Power? I have blessed this battlefield in order to cast the grandest of curses. I, in my benevolence as head of one of the oldest of the courts, have awakened the power hidden within the blood of the Sarkaz. And so, Teresa's, have you felt it? Does my boon delight you? Oh, and how much power can be drawn from your mixed blood? The end is near, it's making you restless. Conceal your weakness, or shall I say, do you need a reminder or two? I will complete the final part of our ritual for you, proud regent, but it is not to service of the narrow ambition of you and your sister. I is always fixed on that nomadic city bearing the false name of Casdale. It's just another resting place in that painful river. Teresa is ready. The shard will soon unleash a power that Victoria could never imagine. The skeleton is waiting in the hub outside the encampment. You can go from there to Brentwood. Exciting, isn't it? Teresa's, you always wear such dull, lifeless faces. I've seen it, a black light rising over the horizon, like a wall of a city, and that will eventually find a real city. You mock my impatience, but isn't silence the best way to conceal your deepest thought? If only I could go back in time to see it for myself. If you really can retrieve the power that could reshape the great land, that which the Sarkaz first reached out to touch, or Genium, then I will on your behalf spread the name of Casdale to every scrap of land I set foot on. The Sarkaz, my people, have abandoned their paths. They have abandoned their past for too long. They hate, they curse, they swear revenge upon our enemies. So disappointing. My people have forgotten even the origin of their bloodline, forgotten the names of our ancestors. They mate in numbers and numbness and sorrow, giving birth to generations of hideous mixed blood offspring. They throw themselves into the shadow of the nomadic cities, hiding in the streets, begging invaders for food. Hey Bina, how are you doing? I have lost interest in Victoria blood, and the Sarkaz who have satisfied with it, they infuriate me even more. From the moment Sarkaz called themselves Sarkaz, from the moment this world alienated them, it's enough to drive one mad with rage. My prince, the drifting of the Ferran is about to end, and we will soon arrive at the way station near Brentwood. The town has been occupied by Victorians, and they are clearing out your creations. Creations? Those mindless insects are nothing more than a few drops of residual blood carelessly spilled by children of the Crimson Court while painting runes. Painting runes on crystals. I hiccuped in my chest. Oh, we're still reading. We're about to finish. I think we have maybe one or two more. We have like 3 more reading sections to do. Yeah, Emmy. We'll probably end it once we get into chapter 14. So we can read chapter 14 and we can do the combat stages. But the reading takes a long time. Let the Victorians celebrate their victory. My mistake, forgive me, Your Highness. Emmy, I know, I'm gonna time you out. I know, you don't have to keep telling me. You don't have to keep telling me, Emmy, goodness. I know, I'm the one that said this, okay? I looked to the military commission's major or Sarkaz. Teresa's has emerged, so made sure to wander outside the court in this system of his. Jean, are you here? Oh, Jean is not here. Jean is okay, no mods here. Yes, Emmy, I know, okay? You don't have to remind me. You are called Ursula. Yes, Your Highness. Your blood is mixed with too much alcohol. I can forgive hedonism and indulgence, but your hesitation disappoints. I can wash those away for you, Major. I am grateful for your benevolence, my prince, but I can handle myself. I will endeavor to do better. She bows her head. The nerves have gripped her. But at least these mixed blood children understand how to resist, which compensates somewhat for their ignorance. Ursula, the Time Stealer, a popular household story, has taken the reins of this particular skeleton. Amusing. Just a coincidence, Your Highness. When I took the name, I never thought I would really be any kind of hero. Ursula was a coward. He couldn't even look directly into the eyes of these Fernan, daring only to hide in the turbulent currents it stirred up, waking some of the people immersed in illusion. So I sent him on such a mission, of course, to save many people. Hollow murmurs echo throughout the space. What is it? Have recognized me at last? Dead silence. Its intelligence has long been stripped away. Only an empty shell remains to react. My prince, we are nearly there. We may encounter some illusions. No need to remind me. I've dealt with this far more than you ever have. The ashen castle sent to its doom in diabolic flames. They sweep through the tents of all the clans. I can hear the roar of the flames. I can hear the lamentations of the flames. Why are we still surrendering? Why are we still weak? Are you satisfied with this? Are you satisfied? Then I, on your behalf, my ancient kin, kneel and weep in the ruins. The king of Sarkaz is dead. The king killing the king. It is 1:21 in the morning. 1:21 a.m. I know he is just a ripple in the illusion. I know this is our unchangeable history. In ancient, you worked hard to build this Asian chasm. The Sarkaz have a home again. But doesn't it diminish size and infuriate you? The outblood invaders depraved the Tikas of their ancestral land, so you started to compromise, shrinking and distorting that which stands for your home. Talking about my shh, Bina, don't think about it. Don't think about it. To a plane, a circle of fields until you can only call it your city, your village. Yeah, no. After I stream, I look over my videos for maybe 4 more hours until I go to bed, and I look to see if there's anything that I can take for a short or a video maybe. But usually not. But usually I don't find anything very funny or anything. So I just To a plane, a circle of fields until you can call it your city, your village. Man, it's so late. We're not finished yet. It's not time to sleep. This is the starting point of Sarkaz's weakness. And now I look back from the end point. The illusions are over. The skeleton has returned to its lair. My prince, it is my duty to remind you that the forces in control of the Brentwood Core Art Circle are nearby. Hit me, Bina. They may not be aware that the skeleton leaves a trace, or our return may have been exposed. Your power is undeniable, but among our enemies there may be. No matter. Have our enemies destroyed the ritual nodes? The battlefield art circles cast by the skeleton were merely the tendrils, extremities of the Crimson Court's grasp. In any case, since we've come to an end, allow me to personally stand at the center of this most ancient ritual. The sun is rising. The first rays of blood red have already spilled through the damaged cave of the way station. A man was sailing the sea to find himself. Where did he find it? A man was sailing the sea to find himself. Where did he find it? You don't need to say that, Amelia. You don't need to say anything. To find him, the sea, Bina. The sun is right. A new day, but this day will be different from all the sorrowful days that have come before. You don't need to notice it though, Emmy. You don't need to. Far Chaser, the crowned hunter, our first king, the crowned hunter, our first king of Sarkaz. The ocean? If your soul still lingers among the myriad after thousands of years, enough dark clouds have accumulated atop the spire known as the Shard. The foolish Victorians see this storm and as nothing more than a spear to be thrown. How shallow, their inherently corrupt nature, always inclined towards conflict. I close my eyes, feeling the art circle composed of blood-red crystals, feeling all the blood that has flowed through this land since the war. No, since we degraded ourselves into Sarkaz. They tremble at my mercy, they boil at my call. If you watch us yet, the descendants of your lost homeland, if those distant legends that have been distorted and painted over are not lies, then let the suffering in that cradle descend again. Let us reclaim the lost fate of the Tikaz. The himself? A drop of blood drops from my eyes. It flows down my face. Such a distant voice answers me. It's as if I could reach out and touch it. That door, long buried in dust and smoke, is slowly loosening. The storm over Londinium is playing a new movement. It seems something is missing. Is he finding like he found himself in himself? The storm over London is now playing a new movement. Something is missing. A loud noise. As we thought, the Victorians are attacking here. We will do what we can to buy you time to complete the ritual, my prince. He sees himself in like the ripples in the water, the reflection. Teresa, you really have surprised me. No, girl called Ursula, we are not facing any such Victorians. Okay, then I give up. Our guests have deserved to witness this moment. Another pureblood, still a young now. The usurper, king of Sarkaz. No matter who they are, the military commission's plan must be executed. I'll strengthen my connection with the Fran as much as possible in order to prevent them from reaching this place. What the fuck, Bina? You know what, Bina? That one was better than Eugene's. Next time you see Eugene in chat, make sure you tell Eugene I have better jokes than you. My prince, please. You have no standing from which to advise me. I do so want to see what cliches will they spout at me this time. What moment of despair can they show me? Now then, Major, you stay here. This dispensable work of yours is over. How many years have these hollow skeletons gone unfilled? For centuries? 5? At the time I was not yet master of the Crimson Court. At the time I could still hear the arrogant whispers of the putrid war king. I could hear the sounds of the arc lair of Jal torching the night away. One off the cookie clicker. Credits go to... What's cookie clicker? What's that? At the time, even if the vampires were hostile to them, these mighty souls surged with hatred and faith, made my heart swell. At the time, the Sarkaz were already a scattered people with no home to call their own, but at the time, I could see the remnants of their proud souls. Click to get more cookies to make cookies. So, cookie gambling? The sea of blood devours the curse. Are you still toying with these pathetic words, with these false curses, Banshee? Why don't you face the power that truly belongs to you, the power gathered in your blood? Isn't the elegy you can sing now so much more melodious? Alas, you are silent, never to open your mouth. Vampire, what is it you are trying to reach? This is no ritual recorded in Sarkaz literature. What is it calling? I think I see a seed. You're trying to awaken it with millennia-old witchcraft, to nourish it with the art circles on the battlefield, and control it with the storm over the Sarkaz? You must be stopped. You'll destroy Londinium. It'll be nothing but a heap of rubble full of Leginium. So is it like an auto? Is there auto clicking? So it's like an idle game. You buy it with cookies. Let's see. No, not only that. Okay, Bina. Are the cookies maybe curvy? No, not only that. At this scale, with this much power, I can even see the revenge of the Sarkaz will drag all of Terra into the abyss. Revenge? Kautas, you still claim to be the king of Sarkaz, but your views are so biased. 200 years ago, collision of Terran nations destroyed Kazdel once. And now do you think we would bring pain and destruction to Victoria as simple vengeance for their conquest 2 centuries ago? Sigh, I am disappointed once again. The black crown lingers over your head, and indeed, this is yet another ridiculous thing wrought by the king of Sarkaz. Can I have macadamian, or is there only chocolate chip? Killing an enemy and butchering a country, burying a city, and annihilating a culture, these things are no different for the Sarkaz. These are far from enough to be called resistance. We've come to Londinium, this outblood capital, not for any kind of retaliation. Seed, not a bad description. Watch and see what sights this seed will bring. The others are upgrades? I want my macadamian cookie. You're a narrow-minded one, vampire. No flowery words can change the nature of what it is you're doing. You called me silent? Rest assured, vampire, you will hear me speak. Fetters fall heavy on your body. Amia. The black crown appears over the outblood's head. A black spear pierces my scapula. What? No, it's not. Fresh blood gushes out. The king of Sarkaz has opened a wound for me. This is the blood so preciously bestowed to me and my ancestors for millennia. I carefully select the blood of my choice. The master of the Crimson Court have a responsibility to day after day wipe away even the most minute hint of impurity. But the reason we are so pure is not that this bloodline has never been lost, never been defiled, but because I finally found it, a drop of blood. It has been passed down through the millennia. Tikaz blood. The land feels silent, the rivers stagnate, the air moans. The entire world turns solemn. As I reach out my hand, it floats safe, slowly in front of me. It does not drip, it only goes up. Bingo, and fully rated if you do play it 100%. I'll check it out, Bina. His blood, he's going to complete the ritual. Tikaz's blood is now gone from our world. The incantation left in Lynn was just destroyed in that instant. What happened in Londinium? Amiya, end this battle quickly. I feel some kind of... Don't be so hasty, honored guest. Blood crawls over the bones. Blood stains emerge from the decay. It's just as great a great opportunity in the sight of the first curse. Perhaps today we can bid farewell to the last king of Sarkaz. 13, 20, 21, and 2. Honestly, chat, I would love to stay and finish, but like it's gotten really late. I had to, you know, honestly, if I got back home, just finish reading chat. I'm too tired. Like I came back from an hour drive back home, so I don't know. The reading is too. If the reading sections weren't as long as they were, I wouldn't mind like continuing, but like it's just too long. But tomorrow we're gonna read again for sure. We're gonna finish chapter 13 tomorrow, and then before we go into chapter 14, we're gonna watch the state of play, and then we'll continue from there. But alright everybody, you guys have a good one. Peace everybody, and I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good night, and you go to sleep too, Bina. We'll just finish tomorrow. Alright, peace everybody, thanks for joining me. You guys have a good one.